Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video. I'm going to be talking about a newly shown Hot Toys figure, and this time the War Machine Mark IV. Now this is one of the many figures that were shown today from Hot Toys, like full reveals and being put on pre-order, which is very exciting. So I'm going to be making videos about, I think I'm going to make a video about everything shown, to be honest, like a separate video for each one. So stay tuned for all of that. But I definitely wanted to make a video about War Machine, of course, from Infinity War. This figure was just first revealed at Comic-Con a couple of days ago, and now he's on pre-order. I love that. It's nice when they just show a figure kind of out of nowhere and put them on pre-order right away, which is great. This War Machine looks great. It really does seem to be like just an advanced version of the Civil War one. Because the Civil War one structurally is very similar. It's bulky in all the same places, basically, but this one is just kind of amped up. The lining in it, I mentioned this when I talked about this when it was displayed at Comic-Con. The lining in it is a lot more sharp. There's a lot more lines in it, and the Civil War one had more rounded pieces. This one is very sharp, strict lines, which I think actually looks really nice. And then the design in the paint itself is actually really cool. It's some sort of camo. Somebody told me like the exact wording of what this camo type of design is, but I just call it like a pixelated effect. It has that type of look to it. It's very technologically based, which I think looks really cool, and I think that actually fits the armor really well. My really big disappointment though is that I can't tell that that's the case in the movie. It looks great on this armor, but if you told me that this was like a concept version of War Machine from Infinity War, I would believe you, because this does, like, a lot of the detail on this figure I don't remember from the movie at all. I've seen the movie 8 times. I've specifically looked at War Machine, and I really don't notice many of these differences in the slightest, but you can really see them here on the figure, which is nice. So I love that design in the costume itself, and then weapon-wise, he's really chocked full of new weapons. Some of them are the same as the Civil War one, particularly the arm weapons right there. Those are the same, but as you can see, like, the little flight panels are new. The machine gun is different, of course. I like the look of the machine gun. I just don't like the little tiny pole that it's on. That's my issue. I wish that it was on something that was more structurally sound. And then these kind of like rockets, I believe those are I'm not quite sure what those are in the movie. I don't remember him using them. I do remember him using these rockets, of course, when he like really blows up. My favorite shot of War Machine in Infinity War is when he's like holding the line at the portion of the barrier that's been let open, and he's just like firing everything he's got, and then, you know, Cole Obsidian hits him with his hammer. But I love that shot of War Machine. He looks so cool with all of his weapons, and this figure really demonstrates all of those weapons, which I think is awesome. So yeah, love the paneling here. Super cool. And then this is a really nice gun. Just wish it was on a bigger base, essentially. But what you get with this figure, you essentially get the Rhodey head sculpt. I believe that's the same one as the Civil War. I don't think that they've redesigned it, from what I know at least. I would imagine it has a different paint job, though. That's typically what they do in this situation. But then, of course, you just get all the weapons on him. So you get his back cannon, of course, his 2 or like 4 kind of wing sections that pop up. You have the extra pieces that can be put on the arms, just like the Civil War one. The extra fist that does come with like the sonic type of weapon that he specifically uses to kind of stop Scarlet Witch in Civil War. I don't particularly remember him using it in Infinity War, though. And then he comes with an extra just regular pair of fists, a pair of repulsor blast hands, and then a pair of articulated fingers. And then you do get the standard Infinity War base, unless you get the exclusive one, which will come with the base similar to the Captain America one, which is kind of, it has like an element feature on it, but it's not actually sculpted, if I'm not mistaken. It's just like a piece of cardboard that goes over the regular base. And then you do get like a really burnt up version of an Outrider. I think it's the same Outrider that comes with the with Captain America, just with more damage to it, although that damage actually looks sculpted to me, so it might actually be resculpted, but I think the position of the Outrider is exactly the same. So you get, a fair amount with this guy. Now, price is going to be the big concern here, because the Civil War one was $345. At the time, that was expensive, because the, diecast series for a regular figure was about $310, so they really amped it up to $345, because you got, because he's such a bulkier armor. Now, with the newest Iron Man from Infinity War, when that went on pre-order, that was $407, and I will be making a separate video today talking about his accessory pack, because that figure didn't come with many accessories at all, and there's a lot of accessories in the movie. So it's ridiculous how overpriced that Iron Man is, and it's so ridiculously overpriced that I don't know if they're going to do the same thing with this, where they are going to, because the Infinity War series basically has had these ridiculous prices, and it's just been Infinity War, to be honest, because whenever a figure that's shown comes out from a different movie or line, it seems to be more regularly priced, but Infinity War is just super expensive. I think that their Marvel figures do well, and therefore they're just really jacking up the prices for this movie in particular. So if they are going to do this where they're upgrading the prices not just for the couple year gap, but also because it's Infinity War, then you're looking at a solid like $440 for this guy. It would be, I mean, if they did it percentage wise, like the difference between a regular Iron Man compared to War Machine back when Civil War came out, and then comparing this War Machine with the last War Machine, if you do like the percentages, this should be about a $350 figure, $360 figure. Sorry, it's going to be $450 figure to $460 figure, which is absolutely insane, of course. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what this is actually priced at, if it really is priced at the Infinity War price range for Hot Toys now, or if it's going to be priced at what this would normally be priced for as a Hot Toys figure without it being Infinity War. So yeah, so there you go, that's my thoughts on the figure. I think it looks really cool. Personally, do I plan to get it? I purchased the Civil War one, and I've sold the Civil War one. I sold it because it did go up in price, so I did make a little bit of a profit on it, but also I didn't really need it, and I'm not a fan of die-cast figures, to be honest. They're a neat concept and everything, but they're just so heavy and impractical. It makes it harder to pose them. They're really heavy on your shelf, especially if you have a glass shelf, and you can't see the die-cast feature. It's really only just the fact that it's heavy, which makes you go, oh, that feels like good quality. But it's just not practical, it's not fun, and it takes away from the figure rather than adding to it, in my opinion. So, personally, I do not plan to get this one. I'm probably just going to skip a War Machine in my collection, to be quite honest, which is a shame. Had this been like a plastic version or something, I probably would be pretty into it, because also not only is die-cast just something I think takes away from the figure, but it's more expensive too. So, just overall, I'm not a fan of die-cast, but I am kind of in the majority with that statement, though. But yeah, overall, I don't plan to pick this up. However, if you don't have a War Machine figure, this is definitely going to be one for you. I think this is a great design. It's certainly not a very iconic War Machine, not one from a movie that he shined in, but it's definitely a very cool one design-wise. It might be the coolest designed one so far, other than, I really like the Iron Man 2 one, though. If you have the Civil War one, I wouldn't recommend this because it's not that much different. So there you go, that's my video talking about the newest Hot Toys figure shown, the Avengers Infinity War War Machine Mark IV. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.